We're going to be doing some games and Bible study. That's what Sunday Funday is. And we're going to be continuing our theme from last week about fall changes. Except this week we're talking about some things that don't change. So, all right. So, hi, Carol. Hi, Christy. Hi, Will. Good evening. Hopefully you can hear me now and things are going. I do have a slow connection. I don't know what's going on with my internet connections. Hopefully we don't end up with some lag here on top of the user error. But, all right. Thanks, Carol. Hey, Darlene. Good to see you as well. So, while we're getting started here, I'm just going to go ahead and ask a question and let you give me some answers here. Assuming I can continue to work the stuff here. While you're joining and let me know it's working, all that, give me a Halloween candy you wish would go away. We did this back at Easter with the Easter candy, and this is the week. You know, it's funny because Halloween kind of snuck up on me this year. Somebody mentioned in church this morning about Halloween being this week, and I'm like, this week? And we figured out that yes, Sunday, this next Sunday is Halloween, is the 31st. So October is just blown by. So I was kind of shocked by that, and got me thinking about candy. Of course, doesn't take too much to get me thinking about candy, but Halloween is definitely one of those premier times for candy, along with Easter and Valentine's Day. But Halloween candy you wish would go away. Anybody know of one? You go, oh, they shouldn't even make that stuff. Now, to give you an example of this, you're thinking, what do you mean go away? To give you an example of this, when we did this for Easter, Peeps was my answer to that question. Peeps could just go away. There's no value to Peeps candy at Easter time. But they don't make a Peeps for Halloween, thankfully. Well, I don't know. They may. Do they make a Peeps pumpkin? If they do make a Peeps pumpkin, that's my vote. That should go away. That marshmallow with the sugar on the outside just is not a good flavor for me. But Halloween candy you wish would go away. I use that because I didn't want to interfere with someone else's actual guess. Or not a guess. Hopefully you know what your answer there, but that's someone else's response. I'm a little worried about my internet connection and the lag, so it may take me a little while to see your responses, trying to see if I can figure out what's going on with my internet, if I can speed it up in any way. But anybody got a Halloween candy they wish would go away? And trust me, the questions get easier or harder. Can't remember which one it is. Oh, okay. So at least Christy gave me a response saying that it's a tough question. Christy likes all candy. She's one that believes if it's candy, it's good. I was checking my my network here to see if I can slow anything else down. Huh. All right. Well. No. All right, Will said he doesn't have any candy he wishes would go. Okay, so everybody likes the Halloween candy. That's interesting. Nobody can think of a Halloween candy that just doesn't cut it, huh? Oh, fondant pumpkins. Okay, Carol came up with one. Okay. Not a big fondant fan there, huh? So, I'm surprised nobody said candy corn. There's usually at least one candy corn hater in every group. I know it's not Christy. Christy's like the candy corn biggest fan. But I really thought we'd had at least one of those. Darlene is saying that candy that tastes like peanut butter. It comes in the orange and black wrap. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those. What is that exactly? I know it comes in that black, orange and black wrapper, and it's kind of gooey like taffy, but it tastes like peanut butter. I'm with you on that one. I don't like the texture on that candy too much. That's interesting. Will, he didn't know about Halloween candy in particular, but he sure is tired of regular M&Ms. Tastes like pure sugar now. Okay. Christy, they're called pan kisses. You talking about the one Darlene was talking about, Christy? That's funny. Christy will take up for candy. And I would consider plain M&Ms, regular M&Ms to be Halloween candy as well. It's definitely one of the things people give out at Halloween is good old M&Ms. All right, so they're not called pan kisses. They're called something else that autocorrect overwrote. Peanut butter kisses. Okay. So Christy likes those. All right. I'm with you on that one, Darlene. Those are not good candy. All right. Well, another valid question here. Before we get into our scriptures, and I do have kind of a short scripture tonight, just very brief. But name a Halloween candy you hope never goes away. The opposite of that. Which one do you say? Oh, if they do away with this one candy, I would be forever upset. Or maybe you know of candy that's already gone away that you miss. I don't know. Maybe it's already happened in your lifetime. You go, oh, I wish they would bring back whatever it is. I can't think of a candy that has disappeared that I'm like, oh, I wish they still made that. Especially not one that's that was common at Halloween. The nice thing about when you talk about Halloween candy, it's kind of different from Easter candy. Is like Halloween candy is mostly like all the regular candies, just in a smaller size. All right, yeah, Christy says candy corn or any chocolate. Yeah, Christy, it would not be fall for Christy if she couldn't have the candy corn. And Christy doesn't just do candy corn. She does the mixture of candy corn that has like the little pumpkins in it. And like it's all just pure sugar in different forms. But Christy likes all of that. All the candy corn type of things, no matter what shape it's in. I'm sure if they made a candy corn scarecrow, she would probably buy that as well. But anybody have a Halloween candy that you hope never goes away? Well, I find it funny how quickly Christy answered that question. It's like, candy corn, candy corn. It's one of the 4 major food groups, right? Candy corn, candy canes, syrup. Is that really how that goes? I can't remember exactly. Candy cane. I think it's one of them. Maybe it's time to start watching Elf again. Miss Judy's going with candy corn as well. Okay. So Christy and Miss Judy would both be sad if the candy company said, nope, we're going to stop making this candy corn stuff. The cornfields find this artificial candy corn insulting, so we're going to do away with it. Now, Darlene says Reese's peanut butter cups. That's one of my favorites too. I definitely would be upset if peanut butter cups went away. It's funny that you don't like the peanut butter kisses, but you like the peanut butter cups. I think it's all texture in that case. It's definitely not the flavor. It's just the gooiness of the other one. I'm trying to think what mine would be for this Halloween candy that I hope never goes away. I'm like a lot of you. I like a lot of different candies, but I don't know that I have a favorite. Like, ooh, if that was missing, I just wouldn't feel like Halloween. You know, I like Kit Kats. I like Three Musketeers. I like all of those. Yes, Darlene, Christy does that as well. Candy corn mixed with peanuts and cashews, and I think it's somewhere around August. Christy starts buying those and putting them together. First sighting of candy corn, she buys them and starts making her own mix. She has little jars that she sits in the kitchen with the mixture in it. Which I don't think we have one at the moment, Christy. I'm surprised at that. All right, Carolyn Will, I'm not getting any favorites from you, so you don't have any. You're like me, you kind of can't decide. Oh, here goes Will. Yeah. All right, so Will's going with the candy corn pumpkin shape. Yes. Yeah, that's the one Christy buys in the little containers. Has like candy corn and like 2 or 3 different color variations, and then has the little pumpkins in it too. So you like the pumpkins. All right, that's interesting. I would not have guessed that. Especially since you said that you didn't like, you got tired of the regular M&Ms, so they just taste like pure sugar. That's kind of what candy corn tastes like to me. It's just pure sugar. I like candy corn, but I can only have a very little bit of it, and I don't know that I would be upset if we couldn't find candy corn one year. Only reason I'd be upset is because I would have to listen to Christy be upset, I think. All right. Before we go into the next little game or guessing, the next one will be guessing. This one you don't have to guess at. Hopefully you just come with what you like. But before we do that, I'm going to jump right into our scripture verses. And I mentioned that I had some short verses tonight. That's by design. As I was trying to come up with something for tonight, kind of trying to tie it back into last week with the idea of fall changes. one thing that kept sticking to me is that, some things don't change. We talked last week about changes we like, changes we don't like, and how in that passage Isaiah, God said, I'm doing something new. Forget what you knew before. Forget what you've seen. I'm doing something new. And how he can make changes in our life and do something amazing. But at the same time, there's a lot to be said for the fact that he never changes. The fact that God promises he's going to be the same. In fact, the writer of Hebrews refers to it this way: Jesus Christ, the same yesterday and today and forever. When we see the fall leaves changing, when we see the seasons change, and even some of the foods change, as we talked about last week, how we have those seasonal foods that we kind of eat only at Thanksgiving or Christmas, or all the different candies that come out special for the holidays and all the different traditions. We start seeing those changes happen. We can also sit back and say, you know what, I don't have to worry about? I don't have to worry about God's love for me changing. I don't have to worry about God's view of my salvation and his offer of salvation to me. I don't have to worry about that changing, because he's the same yesterday, he's the same today, and he's the same forever. That ought to be an encouragement to us as Christians to know that God isn't like so many of us. He's not saying one thing today and changing his mind tomorrow. I hate to admit it, but if we ask this question 2 years from now, I probably have entirely different answers. My favorite candies have changed over the years. I'm a big Three Musketeers fan. I like to eat Three Musketeers bars. But there was a period of time where I just didn't eat them because I got tired of them. We mentioned some of Will mentioned getting tired of the M&Ms. I really enjoy M&Ms, especially the peanut M&Ms. But yeah, you can kind of get tired of it. And you ask me, what's your favorite candy now? It might be a Kit Kat, or it might be, in fact, right now, probably one of my favorites is the Big Cat, where they make the Kit Kat bar, but it's big, thicker, single bar type thing. Really like that. But it changes. That's how we are. But God never changes. He never changes in his love for us. He never changes in what he expects of us to be able to receive salvation, just simply coming to him and putting our hope and trust in him. And that never changes. Aren't you glad that never changes? That we don't have to wonder, okay, have I done enough today? Is God still happy with me? Is God still pleased with me? We can look back at those verses that tell us what he's done for us, like 1 Corinthians 5, where he says he's made him to be sin for us who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of Christ in him. I can wake up every day and say, I have the righteousness of Christ. Not because of anything I've done or anything special about me, but because of what he did, of what Christ took for me dying on the cross. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. The other verse I have that goes along with that is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6. And I debated going into a little more on this passage here, because we don't look at Malachi an awful lot. Malachi is one of we refer to as a minor prophet, simply because the book is a shorter book. But Malachi is writing to the nation of Israel, and he's giving them a message from God. And here in Malachi chapter 3, he makes a statement. He's speaking on God's behalf. He says, he's speaking as God. He says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." I love that first part of the verse. I am the Lord, I change not. We can wake up every day and take comfort, take strength in that, saying God hasn't changed. We may wake up, but one day and our world is different. Our world is shattered. Our world is everything seems to turn upside down just as things happen. Remember hearing a song, I can't remember what the song is now, but it says something about you get that phone call and it takes you to your knees. How things can change in a heartbeat sometimes, and the world just seems to all be different in a moment's time. But God doesn't change. The God that we serve, the God that protects us, the God that's with us, he doesn't change. That's what he tells people here. I'm the Lord, I change not. Second half of that verse is important. He said he's talking to the children of Israel when they've been disobedient. They've wandered away from God. They haven't kept their part of the covenant. They haven't been making the offerings and the sacrifices. They haven't been worshiping God in the way he had prescribed to them. In fact, the very next verse of Malachi 3, verse 7 and onward, he there is speaking to the people saying, you've robbed me. You've no longer given your tithes and offerings. You've no longer brought the things to the temple that I had commanded you to do as a part of your worship for me. And he's very harsh to them. He's letting them know that they're being disobedient. But this verse 6 is important to all of that, because he's saying, it's the fact that he hasn't changed is the reason they're not consumed. He says, if I were like you, if I were like the humans, I would probably be at the point where I'm so angry right now, it would have just consumed you. It would have just destroyed you. He says, but I never change. I've made a promise with Israel, and I'm keeping that promise because that's who I am. That's the God we serve. The God that made a promise that said if we put our trust and faith in Him, He'll forgive us of our sins. Whoever believes in Him won't perish, but will have everlasting life. That whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. The same God that says, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. He never changes. That's the God we serve. Yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of focus on this week. Even though it's short and brief, hopefully the brevity of it helps make some impact with it compared to what we talked about last week with all the things changing. The fact that some things never change, and one of those things that never change is God. Let's keep that in mind this week. Miss Judy says she loves Kisses. I was wondering if somebody's going to bring up the Hershey's Kisses, because Hershey's Kisses you think of generally a lot of times as being like a Valentine's Day candy, but you buy them year round. I know I do. I can eat Kisses anytime. Miss Judy says she can eat them every day, and I agree with that. So, but yeah, so the candies, our candy taste change, but some things don't. Keep that in mind that God never changes. I'll go back to that last word, that one from Hebrews. Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever. One thing I want us to do as we go back to our game here, I've asked you what candy you hope never goes away, what candy you hope that you wish would go away. Now I want to see what you can come up with. If I can do the controls right here without giving away all the answers too quickly. See if you can guess America's top 10 favorite Halloween candies. Now this data, as I mentioned on the little source credit there at the bottom, comes from candyindustry.com. And this bulk candy retailer has analyzed the data that they have, as well as some of the distributors they work with. And they gathered a whole bunch of data over the last 14 years of sales. So just to give you the kind of the time frame, because I know if you went way back, candies have changed over the years. This is the last 14 years of sales, so it's kind of, I don't think candies have changed that much in 14 years as they would have if you went back, say, 50 years. But the last 14 years of sales, and they came up with what the top 10 most popular Halloween candies are across the U.S. as a whole. And then we're going to look at it state by state in a moment as well. But what do you think are the top 10 Halloween candies for U.S. sales? Had to limit it somehow to get the data. So between 2007 and 2021, specifically looking at those months leading up to Halloween. So this is a Halloween-focused candy. Anybody want to take a guess at what those top 10 favorite are? Christy's going to go with candy corn. She said, hey, I think we're in the top 10. I'm not alone here. So Christy's going with candy corn. I do have a little bit of a lag. I know I'm not getting some of these answers in for a little bit, so I'm gonna wait and withhold any of my guesses. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you the bottom 5 here in a moment, and then we'll show you the top 5. But I will let people give some guesses here, so I don't show it too soon and ruin people's guesses as they're putting them in. Chrissy's gonna say Tootsie Rolls as well. It's kind of funny living out rurally like we do. We don't usually give out Halloween candy. No one comes out here, but it's fun to listen to people talk about what candy they're going to give, and then there's always the one house that gives out full-size candy bars and things like that. Christy's going with M&Ms. Okay. I'm getting Christy's answers faster. I think it's because we're on the same network. I don't know if hers is having to go out and back in or what, but I'm getting her answers faster. Carol's going with candy corn as well. Will says Reese's Pieces and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Okay. Arlene's going with chocolate-covered marshmallows. All right, yeah, the ghost-shaped candy there. Miss Judy's going with M&Ms and candy corn. Carol's going with the Reese's Pumpkin. Ooh, I forgot about the pumpkins. I think the Reese's Pumpkins might actually be even better than just the regular Reese's Cups. It's a little more peanut butter there. And Darlene's saying Reese's Cups about the same time Carol was saying the Reese's Pumpkins, so on the same page there. All right, well, while y'all are continuing to guess, all right, Will was saying the Reese's Pumpkins as well. That's funny, everybody's going with the same direction there. I can't really remember what's in the bottom 5, so I was kind of waiting to make sure I didn't give away too much before people were guessing, but the answers are still coming in. We should be able to get at least some of the top 10 out of what we've got so far. All right, I'm going to give you the bottom 5, and then we can keep that eliminated down so you kind of keep guessing for the top 5. Bottom 5, Sour Patch Kids come in at number 6. Nobody said that one. Hershey's Kisses at number 7. There you go, Miss Judy. That's in the top 10 favorite Halloween candy across the U.S. Number 8 was Snickers, which kind of surprised me. I actually would have thought Snickers would be a little bit higher on this list. And so the Tootsie Pops come in at 9. Now, I don't know, Christy, if that means Tootsie Rolls might be somewhere else, or if that means the Tootsie Pops are more candy, more popular than the Tootsie Rolls. And there's our candy corn there coming in at number 10. So our candy corn lovers, you are in the top 10 of favorite Halloween candy across the U.S. Got a few more coming in. So Milk Balls, all right. It's like the Whoppers, things like that. I find it interesting that we've got a lot of chocolates on here, chocolates and the candy corn. But we don't have a whole lot of the fruity, soury type stuff. Like Sour Patch Kids kind of threw me off there. Like, yeah, we haven't mentioned any of that kind of candy, the Smarties and stuff like that. Now, I don't think Smarties is in there. I've seen the list, but I can't even remember what they were. I didn't look that closely. I was putting them into the slides to try to get them ready for us to play. So I don't remember what's number 1 or anything. But some of those, I don't really want to call that fruity, but I don't know what you call that. But the non-chocolate stuff hasn't been mentioned quite as much. So all right, well, I'm not seeing any more responses. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and give you the top 5. I always hate doing this too soon when I've got a lag on connection, because I know as soon as I show it, boom, I'm going to get a couple of responses in. The people were already sent, and I just hadn't seen them yet. All right. Top 5 favorite Halloween candies across the U.S. Reese's Cups are number 1. I should have remembered that. So, yeah, everybody's talking about the Reese's Cups, Reese's Pumpkins. I'm guessing they lumped those two together probably to get that top ranking. Skittles in at number 2. I was waiting to see if anybody would mention Skittles, because that's one that, until I saw the list, I didn't think about. But that is one of my favorite candies. I really like Skittles, especially those. It's the one thing that I don't mind getting in the little bag. At Halloween they give you the fun size bags, which to me, there's nothing fun about having to open 2 packages of candy to get a regular amount of candy. But Skittles, I don't mind the little bags, just because it's kind of strong taste there. So one bag is good. M&M's coming in number 3. So, apparently not everybody's getting tired of M&M's, because they come in as number 3. Starburst at number 4, another one of those non-chocolate candies that kind of mixed in there. When you think about it, Halloween is pretty common. I like the little 2 or 3 pack you can get. Another one of those, for some reason, the ones that are like fruity, I don't mind getting in the smaller packs. But give me a little tiny Reese cup, and I got to have 4 or 5 of those to make one candy. And then Hot Tamales. This is the one that really shocked me. And then I forgot it was on here. The little packages that have the little, like pills in them, the little Hot Tamale candy. Who would have thought Hot Tamales would be the 5th most popular candy based on sales? Anybody see that one coming? That just baffles me. I would have thought Mike and Ike's would have been there before Hot Tamales, and I didn't even think of Mike and Ike's. So maybe I'm the only one that's surprised by that. I'm still rambling on. I'm not getting any responses, so I'm afraid I may have lost connection. If this is cutting in and out, I do apologize. So I'm going to move on to our next thing, and hopefully get the connection to where I can actually see your responses here. All right, so at least I know it's working because I see Christy's. Yeah, Christy was shocked by the Hot Tamales as well. So, all right. All right, the next thing we're going to try to do here, if I can make it work, is the state's top 10 favorite Halloween candies. And I mentioned it plural possessive there because we're going to look at each individual state and what some of theirs are. I may not look at all 50 of them for the sake of time, but I wanted to kind of get from you what states you would like to hear from, and then we'll get some guesses on what that is. Hang on a second while I pop this up. I've given you an example here of one. Iowa. I didn't figure anybody was going to be guessing for Iowa. So Iowa's favorite Halloween candy is M&M's. So somebody give me a state, and then I'm going to let people guess on what their favorite of that state is. Anybody got a state you want us to guess on for a while? So remember that last list was kind of this, all the states combined in aggregate. Now we're looking at each individual state. What is their favorite based on the amount sold for that location? Jawbreakers. I forgot about Jawbreakers. Yeah, that's another good Halloween candy. You see those a lot at parades and at Halloween. That's kind of the time you see Jawbreakers. If I bounce around a lot, I apologize. It's only because I get some of these comments coming into me a little bit slow, so I have to read through a lot to catch up. All right, what state are we going to try to guess? You want me just to pick it? The internet connection wasn't so slow, it'd be a lot easier. Well, I apologize for this. All right, I guess I will pick. See, what's going to happen is I'm going to pick a state, and then as soon as I say it, somebody's already typed in a state, and then I'm going to see that pop up on the screen after I've already picked one to go with it. That's the problem with the slow internet connection. Ugh. All right, Miss Judy said Florida. We're going with Florida. All right, who wants to guess? We'll do Florida first, then we'll do Wyoming, and then we'll do California. So who wants to give me some guesses on what we think Florida's favorite Halloween candy is? You know, it's always fun to Google Florida Man and see all the crazy news articles that start with the phrase Florida Man. So what does Florida Man eat for Halloween candy? Anybody got any guesses? Chrissy's guessing Snickers for Florida. All right. Any more guesses for Florida's favorite candy? Oops. It won't change until I press enter, so M&M's is not there. Well, it may be, but it's not showing that yet. So, what guesses do we have for Florida's favorite? Got to rearrange my screen here real quick. Uh-oh, did that? No. All right. And then we'll do South Carolina. All right, so we're going to do Florida, Wyoming, California, and then South Carolina. So who's got some guesses for Florida's favorite Halloween candy? We got one vote for Snickers. I know people have already said, like, quit asking, Chuck. We already sent it. Just wait for it to come through. Wow, now, this was not the right night to pick an interactive game like this, was it? I was so excited because this was going to be a lot of back and forth. That's what I like. I like to hear from you guys. And then that's the night that my internet is showing up as red. Really poor connection here. I can't figure out any reason why. All right, so Darlene says Florida, she's guessing Skittles. What?
There's M&M's up there.
Because that was Iowa's. That's what I said. I haven't typed in. I haven't put Florida in yet, so it's still showing the M&M's from Iowa. As soon as I hit enter on putting in Florida, it'll show me what theirs is. All right. Oh, but Judy's saying orange slices. I forgot about the candy orange slices there. All right. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on this and see what Florida's is. I'm sure I've got a couple more answers coming in. But it is Reese Cups. So Florida's favorite candy is Reese Cups. All right. So now let's do Wyoming. That was Christy's guess for some strange reason. She was curious what kind of candy they eat in Wyoming. So if you want to, just put a W before the guess. Well, I'll know, or you'll know what the guesses are. So yeah, just tell me what do you think is the favorite Halloween candy for Wyoming? Christy just came in here too, so she's trying to get her answers in faster. Christy's going with lemon heads. You think Wyomingers like lemon heads? Since the what was the one that was on the list? Hot tamales was on the list. You figure lemon heads might make a list for a particular state. While we're waiting, you know the capital of Wyoming?
Yes.
All those years studying with the kids.
Yes, I do.
Any more guesses for favorite Halloween candy for Wyoming?
Cheyenne?
Is it Cheyenne? I don't know. I was just guessing. I was asking you. Yeah, I took this list to put it into an Excel thing. So when I type in the state, it'll tell me what the candy is. All right, I'm guessing there's some answers coming in, but Wyoming. Did I spell that right? Oh, Wyoming is also Reese Cups. Look at that. Go check my... Yes, making sure my thing was working there for a second because I was like, whoa, that's improbable. All right, so Florida was... What was Florida? Oh yeah, Florida was Reese. So we had M&M's for Iowa. Florida was Reese Cups. Wyoming is Reese Cups. Now, who's got a guess for California? What do you think the... Judy was saying Airheads. I like that, Miss Judy. I forgot about Airheads too. That's another one of those non-chocolate good candies. All right, so who's got a guess for California? What their favorite Halloween candy is? Pixie sticks. Chrissy's just trying to show off her knowledge of candy now, like pulling all the random candies out that didn't get mentioned earlier. Kona, out. All right, Darlene's going Mr. Goodbar. Okay. That is actually one of my favorite candies, too. You don't see those a whole lot, but I like a Mr. Goodbar. You get the little miniature bags. Christy's going in there getting all the Hershey's out of it, and I'm getting the Mr. Goodbars and the dark chocolate out of those.
I should have said should go dark chocolate.
Yeah, the Reese's... What's Reese's call their dark chocolate? Reese's Dark? Reese's Special. Special is what they call it, isn't it? Special Dark?
Special.
Hershey's, yeah. All right. No more guesses for California. We got Pixie Sticks, Wyoming. Oh, Mr. Goodbar was Wyoming. Okay, yeah, it shows you how slow my answers are coming in here. So, yeah, that's one reason I hate to keep moving on, because I know that I'm going to get answers from the last question after I move on to the next one because of my internet connection problem here. But, so, all right, so California. Will's going to say Reese Cups. Wouldn't that be interesting if we end up with 3 states in a row that all have Reese Cups as their favorite? That'd be funny. Darlene's going California Skittles. All right. So we got so far Pixie Sticks, Skittles, and Reese Cups, and the answer is Reese Cups. Oh my goodness! I cannot believe the states we've picked. Because let me do something real quick. Just double check my work here. It is Reese Cups. They are not all Reese Cups, I can assure you that. But we've just picked 3 states in a row that all had Reese Cups as their favorites. That seems improbable to me. That's hilarious. $1 Million bars. Okay, I haven't seen those in a while. Forgot about that. So, all right, so we did Florida, Wyoming, California. Now it's time for South Carolina. And so who wants to make a guess on South Carolina? I mean, in my opinion, it seems like it would be unlikely that it would be Reese Cups again. 4 states in a row, all that have Reese Cups as their favorite. But I don't know. It's because I can assure you, when I looked at the list and this time, they're kind of all over the board. So I would not have expected to end up with 3 states in a row that all had Reese Cups. So Darlene had said, where was it now? Taffy for South Carolina, and Christy is saying M&M's for South Carolina. Ooh, if I could type here. South Carolina. All right, not gonna hit enter yet. Just give everybody another chance who wants to guess. South Carolina's favorite Halloween candy. All right, really, for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and go with it. Butterfinger. We finally found a state that wasn't Reese Cups. I don't know. I like South Carolina's taste there. Butterfinger's a really good bar. I'd forgotten about it. We're talking about candy bars here. So all right. So Butterfinger. Anybody want to guess Alabama? We're in Alabama, so I want to get your guesses. All right. So the comments are coming in a little slow for me here. So Alabama. What do you think is Alabama's favorite Halloween candy? I mean, we live here. We should know. And my guess is I'm going to say you're all going to miss it because I've already seen the answer, but I would have missed it. Remember, this is based off of that candy distributor sales for the candy industry sales. So Miss Judy's going to go with M&M's. We're looking for Alabama's favorite Halloween candy. And if you have another state you really want to get to, let me know because we're about to wrap up. And I've got all 50 states in there. So if there's another one you were curious. I even have D.C., District of Columbia in here. So it's actually 51 different places in this list from candy industry. Christy's going with candy cigarettes for Alabama. Oh. Trying to remember who it was I was talking with not too long ago that was talking about the fact they used to make candy cigarettes. That's just really funny. So Will's going to go with the Reese's. He thinks we're back to another Reese's state. See, now I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to take this data about the top Halloween candy and merge it with some of the political voting data and see if there's any correlation between favorite candy and political leaning for states. It'd be kind of interesting, master's dissertation or a thesis if someone is working on something like that. All right, Darlene's going to Reese Cups too. And I think I remember this one, but if we end up with all but one of the states we picked having Reese Cups as their favorite, that would be really surprising. All right, so a lot of people are going to Reese Cups here. Will, Darlene, Carol's going to Reese Cups. Christy's going off on her own. And Miss Judy's going to go with Mars bars. Okay. All right, Al, if I can spell, we'll get it in there. Everybody ready? Da-da-da-da-dum. Starburst. I remembered it was a fruity one. I was thinking Skittles, but yeah, Starburst. Kind of surprised me there. So Starburst is the Alabama favorite Halloween candy based on sales. So, all right. Well, for the sake of time, I'll let that be it. Unless someone has a state that they just say, I want to know what this state is, then I'll share it and we'll go with that. But yeah, so it changes. Depends on where you go, what your favorite might be. But remember, one thing that never changes is God. One thing that never changes is His promises to us, His love for us, and who He is, His faithfulness to us. We may not be as faithful. We may not always do what we know we need to be doing for Him, but He is always faithful to us. As we saw there in that passage of Malachi, even when we're at our worst, He says, I never change. And my love for you, my covenant with you, never changes. So, all right, well, hope everyone had enjoyed that. I was wishing to be a little more interactive. We cover a lot more states, but my internet connection speed didn't allow for that. But hopefully you enjoyed it, had some fun. And hopefully when you see some candy bars this Halloween, you kind of go, ooh, that's one of my favorites. Kind of remember, God never changes. Jesus Christ the same yesterday, today, and forever. And hope you all have a wonderful week, and we'll talk next week. And I love you all. Talk to you soon.